All right, we're going to review the Warden skills. This is brought to you by Wawa Coffee. Let's do this. Okay, and we can kind of look in chat and see if people have questions. Nippy has class. Be right back 1 hour. This is perfect timing. This couldn't have worked out any better. God bless Nippy. Good luck in class. All right. The passives, functionally, this would have made more sense to show the passives after the active skills. It's almost like we have to go backwards. But here we go. Winter Jules and FENGRUSH gonna have a roast battle. She does not want any. I'm telling you. He does not want it. All right. Piercing cold. Physical and cold damage. People are asking if there's physical morphs. Obviously, there are. Honestly, in this tree, there's not really many, if any, physical morphs now that I think of it. This is kind of, if you're a stand build, you're going to have utility in here. There's good support skills in this line. This is considered your tanky line, this one. But anyway, tanky and utility is what I would consider it. Physical and cold damage is that one. ICR, reduce effectiveness snares applied to you by 15%. Increase your physical and spell resistance. Okay, so that's just passive resist. Passive mitigation. Increase the chance of applying chill to enemies with Wither's Embrace abilities by 200%. Nice. Okay. So we have Frozen Gate. This is one of the coolest skills in the game. Might be the new coolest thing. It's going to be kind of hard to use in some places. It'll be cool in Battlegrounds. I was unaware at first, but turns out you can't actually see this skill either. It's worth mentioning. As an enemy, you're not supposed to. Although I want to say that we could, but you're not supposed to be able to see Frozen Gate. But Frozen Gate, so it says summons a portal on the ground, enemy runs over it, they teleported to you and rooted for 2 seconds. The target is immune. They take frost damage. So this, what they mean by immune, it functionally acts as a CC, the same way a chain would. So you can plop this down. It has whatever range. Yeah, it says 28 meters. So this is like big range. You can put it where you want. It's like a trap that'll end up pulling somebody. But it lasts forever. There's Trenia 2 months. Welcome back, Minishi. Welcome to the stream. Bringing the biceps for Nurse Trenia. Thank you. You can only have 1 active at a time. Oh, it has the duration, 30 seconds. Okay. And it costs, like, not much. So you can put something somewhere. It'll yank somebody. So, like, say you put it there and you jumped in the lava, perhaps, on Battlegrounds. It would pull them into the lava. It pulls them to where you're looking in front of you. So that's how that one works. The morphs on this. I'm trying to think what the morphs were. I forget. Don't think it applied to debuff. And there's no, like, reverse function. It's not like there would be a portal that would pull you to them. I can't remember off the top of my head. But, yeah. It's a cool skill. It's different. So it's like a trap that pulls, basically. All right, we're skipping right up to Frost Cloak. You and nearby allies gain age resolve for 24 seconds, too. This one's huge. Reason being is this can open up spots on certain people's skill bars. So if you have this in your group, some people don't have to put up an armor buff, but can still get it from you. Nobody can really do that right now. So there's a lot of A lot of awesomeness from this. This would be good in PvE as well. Yeah, this is just a really good skill. So, like, say a Magicosaur, for example, in light armor has shit armor. And you have a Warden group, then you always have this buff. You don't have to put lightning armor or whatever. And a Magicosaur generally isn't putting it up. They're usually just using wards, but when their wards drop for those small windows, they'll have more armor. So, hooray for that skill. It's a good one. It'll be good in PvE too. Again, it'll open up slots for people. Sorry, I'm kind of a little sick here and a little raspy. Can you post this Warden review? Yeah, I'm pretty much going to, because people are asking about it, so I'm just going to cut this and kind of go through it. Impaling Shards. Deals frost damage to targets in the area every 1 second over 10 seconds. Targets become snared for 4 seconds. Damage is done based on your max health. Again, you can see where the tankiness is lending to this tree. I'm trying to think of this skill. Deals frost damage to your targets in the area every 1 second. Radius is 6 meters, which is not too bad, but not crazy. Instant area of effect. So this is a in-your-face kind of skill. I don't really remember this one too much. So I can't remember the morphs. I ended up not having this, I think, in the... I don't think I tried this, but yeah. I don't think it'll be... It'll be a good utility, like, out in the middle of stuff. And then you have the passive to apply chilled and stuff, but, yeah, I can't give you too much info on that beyond what it has there for you. Crystallized Shield's pretty interesting. Absorb projectiles. This is like wings. Restoring magicka can happen 3 times. So it pretty much almost restores the cost of it. It's just like an absorption thing. It is pretty nice. It does use a skill slot on your bar, but it has good use. Like, it can be very worth it. So yeah, it's kind of a nice skill for sure. It may be really good on like quick mobile stam builds too, like not just tankiness you want to think of. If you're out running out and about, like things like shards can knock you down and screw you up. Something like that can help you a lot when you're peeling out from targets. So, what's up, Snowman? Yeah, I did. I'm just kind of going over some stuff here real quick. Arctic Wind, heal yourself for max health instantly, additional 2% over 2 seconds. This is only really good if your health is like jacked way high, like 40k plus. Otherwise, it's not really going to be worth it if you look at the cost. I didn't like this too much when I used it, but I don't build tanks with like huge amounts of health. So that's just me. But yeah, it's like a self-heal. It's not even close to like Green Dragon Blood in its current buffed form this patch. But it is what it is. Sleet Storm. All enemies near you are snared for 1 second. Take X. Frost damage. Nearby allies gain major protection, reducing incoming damage. So this, I think, is the most broken thing of the whole class in terms of how will this affect Cyrodiil. Because this is basically like a toned-down Destrold offensively, but defensively, major protection is an unbelievably strong buff. Just way unbelievably strong. So if you're outnumbered and you're fighting people that have these ready to go, I mean, people are already using Remembrance to counter Destrolds. If you pop this on top of Remembrance, it's a joke. So, Remembrance needs to be changed, basically. Like, it better be changed. It has to give, like, minor protection or something. It just gives flat, like, 20% reduction right now. You stack that with major protection, joke. You know. Slash Torque, welcome. some guns for slash twerk. I'll give you a proper greeting when I'm done this. Thank you, man. Load more image. Let's see the rest. Maturation. Alright, when healing an ally with a green bounce ability, grant them major toughness, which increases max health by 10% for 20 seconds. So major toughness isn't in the game right now, but this is basically what Warhorn does. And that's the only place you're really getting that. If I'm not mistaken, off the top of my head, I think so. So this will be the other place you'll get it. The good thing about this is you can always have it with this class when healing an ally with a green bounce, which there's some nice abilities in here. So this is huge. Again, for PvE, this can just, like, most of the time you have, like, a really good raid group has Warhorn up, but, like, a less good raid group can keep this up and increase their survival. But in PvP, having this is just going to increase your group's health. It's going to be like a must-have kind of thing. Very strong. Not a must-have, but, like, it's really great. Like, it does a lot. And it's full uptime. So Emerald Moss, increase healing done for each ability slotted from this thing. When healing ally under 50% with a green balance, you gain major mending, increasing your healing done. So this is pretty nice. You have to heal them with a green balance ability for this to go off, but there's a couple good ones in here that allow this to happen a lot. Wow, I really got the flash on this one. When healing an ally with a green bounce ability, you gain magicka. So it's just some return there. Lotus Blossom, while active, 26% damage caused by your light and heavy attacks also heal a nearby ally. Caster also gains Major Prophecy, gaining spell crit. So that buff's pretty cool. This is kind of a weird skill. I remember testing this with Issa and a bit, and he had some cool ideas for it, but to use it practically may be a little difficult. We'll see about that one. But that's really all it does is that. I forget what the morph was on this thing. But yeah. Actually, I think that is the morph there. I'm not sure. I think that may be it. Nature's Embrace. Pull yourself to a targeted ally. You and the ally heal this every 1 second for 10 seconds. So this is pretty cool. This pretty much functions like Chain. The skill is cool. So it's literally pulling you to a target and healing. I know, again, the morph doesn't like reverse the effect. It's just that. That's how it functions. It pulls you to the target. You don't have to be a certain distance away. The range is big. It's 22 meters. But I like the skill. I use it. It's pretty much their strongest burst heal in the whole tree. So like if you spammed this, it would function as like the burst heal, equivalent to like Breath of Life for them. The thing about it is, it has a delay. The same thing Chain does. Like you use the skill, it hits and pulls. So like you can't spam it like you would like Breath of Life, just holding block. It won't go off as quick. It's not as strong. So I like it, and it can move you around in the fight defensively to pull yourself around and make it harder for someone hitting you to like stick with you. So it's pretty cool in how it functions. It's different. Nature's Gift, that's the passive again. Okay, this is the Vines one. So this is the one, heals an ally in front of you for 10 seconds. The Vines heal the target for number each time they take damage, every 1 second. When the Vine expires, they heal the target for an additional amount. You can only have one active at a time. I think that's kind of changed. That's been updated, I think. But anyway, this functions like a cone, okay? So it's real tight close to you, but in front of you, like it expands and it's easier to hit people. So it's not like Combat Prayer where it's like a lane. It's a cone. Think like a DK's breath skill, something like that. Again, you have to aim this. Tough to use in PvP a little bit. Like you'll get used to using something like this, and it is nice, especially because it's a hot. Like they have a lot of healing over time action going on. And that's why ultimately I consider Warden like a supplementary healer. I wouldn't take him as a main healer. They can main heal with Nature's Embrace and having like a healing ult, like whether it be the Resto ult. I actually used the Resto ult and this tree ult, the Healing Thicket, and I'll explain why. But it didn't compare with like a Templar. Not to beat up on him, but like I really feel just the Breath of Life's really gonna have to change. What I love about Warden is the healing took skill. I feel like I actively had to look around and participate in the fight in a way I don't have to when I play my Healing Templar. My Healing Templar, I could just like look at my resource bar and be blocking and Breath of Lifing and watching my ult until it comes up. With these guys, you got like if you want to hit someone with the vines, you got to find him. You got to pull yourself to him, turn around, try to hit two people with your cone healing ability. It's cool stuff. It really is. It's engaging healing. It's the kind of healing I've always wish we had more of. But when you have other healing options that are so strong in all respects, they heal for more. They heal faster. They're smart healing. They're just going to pick whoever's lowest. They heal people for more that are lower. Like, it gets outshined by too many of those things. And that's what bothered me about it. Like, I really liked it, but I feel to make it relevant, same thing with other healing classes. Like a Magicka Nightblade can heal too, but like why? Why bother? Why when you have a Magplar? So I'd like to see some change to healing so this is a fun class to have healing, because right now everything is just a supplement to Templar as far as I'm concerned. There's no point even. And that's a good thing. It's good to have supplementary healing. Like these hots are good. Any extra hots you can throw in to heal over time on top of the burst healing, those are the things that keep people alive while they're being bursted. Someone gets hit with a burst, and, you know, in that 1 second window before a Breath of Life may hit, those hots may kick up 20, 30% of their health because you have a couple of them going. So it is strong. Don't get me wrong. It's just, as a primary single healer, you know, kind of has its downside, I think. Isn't Lotus Blossom the same thing as Degen? Lotus Blossom. Oh, yeah, the degen thing. Not exactly, and that's what I was talking about. I was talking about Issa combining Lotus Blossom with the Mage's Guild skill based off heavy attacks. But yeah, that I gotta credit Issa on that one. He came up with that idea, which could be interesting. I just don't know. We'll see. Corrupting Pollen. This is a really cool skill. Summon a field of flowers which heal. This is a really good heal too. Only one's active at a time. You could also, does it say this? Allies activate Healing Seed to give health. So I think this is the morph. If I'm not mistaken, you should be able to activate this skill early to heal. And so here's what it does. Summons these flowers. They heal after 6 seconds, okay? So it's like a 6-second delay for a big heal. I think this is one morph. You activate this synergy to get an instant heal, but I think the other morph allowed, which is what I tried, and frankly, it's really strong. The other morph didn't have the synergy, I think, but it allowed you to cast the skill again, and it wouldn't wait the 6 seconds. You could cast the skill again, and it would activate and heal early for a less amount. But that less amount was a lot. Like, I tried it. Instead of waiting 6 seconds, I waited 1 second, and I used it again. It healed for, like, 60, 70% of its value. So I could use this as a strong AoE heal. And enemies who enter the field gain Major Defile, reducing healing. So basically, the way I built this class was, like, I was tanky. I was in the middle of stuff with, like, Fasalas using an AoE of this, Corrupting Pollen, to be able to... Strong area of denial. Like, Fasal's debuff with this Major Defile debuff, and then still doing a lot of healing. And I use the healing ult, which we'll get to in a second here. Really good skill. The skill is amazing. Great PvP skill. Just really strong. Enchanted Growth allies. Let me see if there's any questions. So Warden requires aiming heals, so just spam root them and yeah. How does Stam Warden compare to Magicka? I mean, they both are gonna have their strengths, but I think they'll both be. There's different ways to play them too. Whether you're like want to be some open world, small scale, or like a support build on them. What Warden will be the best to play Magic? Yeah, a lot of people are asking this, Magic or Stam. You're gonna be able to do both. Let me get to that more at the end when I go over everything. Enchanted Growth. Allies grow a large area of mushrooms, healing all allies in a cone in front of you. So another cone shot. Allies gain minor intellect, minor endurance. This is one of the morphs. I forget what the other one does. This is a strong heal. It's expensive, but as I recall, and I ended up not using it. Instead, I used some of the resto skills in conjunction with Pollen. And I had Nature's Embrace, but the more I fought, the less I used it. Because this skill was doing so much. It was actually healing a good amount on top of other things. And I was just using other healing over times. Like I think I put in regeneration and I think this thing. And I was just doing a lot of healing over time. And this acted as like an intermittent burst heal on top of the hots. And then again, I kind of do what I do on my healers with Blood Spawn and Dragon, and I pumped out some ults. So this can be good, but I'm telling you guys, when you're out there fighting and PvPing, it's really hard to use cone healing. I think it's really cool, but it should be rewarded. RNC, welcome back. 3 months, thank you, man. Bring in the love. What is better for hang on, I'm not gonna hit other classes right now, except for PK. Panconjo, take care. I will post this on YouTube. Yes, you can check it out there if you missed stuff. Okay, sorry. So yeah, cool skill, expensive. I think we need more healing, skill-based, rewarded type gameplay. I really liked how the Warden functions. I just think it's in an environment where it's tough to compete with another class healing. You know? If you don't have to move around and PvE, like if you're just PvEing, the numbers add up. Like it'll be fine, but take this bad boy out in PvP and open world and stuff's getting crazy and people are split up and people are rooted. And you're like, hey, can you not be rooted and disabled? Can you walk over here and get my Enchanted Growth cone? You can be like, drop me the heal, man. I'm dying over here. All right, let me Nature's Embrace over to you. And then the other guy can't get healed. Whereas you could just be a Templar in the middle of the fight and I've already dropped 4 Breath of Lives. You know? I don't know. Having played both, that's my take. Everything's good, RNC. I'm doing a quick review, and if you guys are just tuned in, I'm just kind of reviewing the skills and doing a quick take on Warden skills since we're able to talk about them. So this tree is your damage tree, the last one here, and this one probably has the most. You're gonna have a lot of stamina and magic morphs in this because this is your damage tree. And when I finish here, we'll talk about it. You know what? She totally missed Healing Thicket. So Healing Thicket built a goddamn forest on your screen. If you drop this in Cyrodiil, performance is probably gonna hit an all-time low. Looks awesome. It really does. It looks really cool. Just like forest just ends up growing all around you. Everywhere. It's nice looking. Anyway, big area. Again, this goes along with what I was telling you earlier, creating like an area of denial, an area of dominance, which you can kind of do with this class. The Healing Thicket, it was a healing over time area. And the one morph of it, if you healed anybody that was like below 50%, it would give you a fair amount of your ult back. It would just return the cost to you. And I could do that and I was using Bloodspawn and Dragon to kind of generate ult to get this ult back up again. Because obviously if I was using this, I was hitting somebody who was low. Which again hits the major mending passive and all that. So I was strong, tanky, a lot of utility. Doing the Defile and some other stuff, the Trap and cool ice effects. Oh yeah, did we miss that earlier? Sorry, this is worth mentioning. We totally missed it because now I'm remembering what I was doing on this class. Wasn't Sleet. No, that's the old. Wasn't Arctic Wind. Wasn't Shield. Impaling Shards, this is the one. So this deals frost damage and area things become snared. Yeah. The one morph, it roots, okay? This was like, I can't believe I forgot this and skipped it. This was like Talons on crack. This thing wasn't limited to 3 targets like Talons. This was rooting everything, okay? So when I got in the area with all the debuffs and all the healing going, it's just like everything was rooted. Non-stop. Root, just going crazy with this thing. Very strong. Very strong. Amazing skill. Sorry. I drew a blank earlier when I was going over that. And yeah, Healing Thicket is cool. I also had Resto ult. So like I could drop Healing Thicket. The ult would heal people. I'd get some of my ult back. I got some of my ult back so quick I could immediately go over and pop a Resto ult. And that's how I almost like tried to become a Templar. It's like, hey, if I have Healing Thicket going with this hot and regeneration and the other thing in Corrupted Pollen and then my Resto ult, I kind of feel like a Templar right now. So you could put out some strong healing while still doing some strong utility. So it's in there just out of place. Oh, I see. Miss Biz got this all. It's all over the place, Miss Biz. It's all backwards. It's like reading a book in Chinese right now. All right. So the last tree is the pets. All the pets that you see in like the videos and stuff. Animal companions, it's called. Okay. And I didn't really mess with this except the one I will explain. But if you're damage dealing at all, this is your tree. Okay. So anyway, passives. Advanced species. Increase your damage done for animal companion 2%. Okay. Advanced species again. Nice moves.
You son of
a
bitch.
We got the Healing Thicket now. Beautiful. So instantly heal lowest health area. Heals allies over time. When effect ends, allies continue to receive healing. So you could do this. That's major healing over 4 seconds. Or you could do the other morph. Gives you ult back. Take your pick. Build's coming soon. Vader! Cutting loose. Thank you for the resub, man. Bring the biceps. Let's get to the animal companion straight. Flourish. Increase your magic and stamina recovery by 12% if an animal companion ability is slotted. So that's pretty nice. Which is why if you do the kind of support build I'm talking about, you're going to want one for that. And I'll explain why else you're going to want the one that I'm going to put in.
You son of a bitch.
Damaging an enemy with an animal companion ability grants ultimate. This effect has a cooldown of 8 seconds. This is the one thing I couldn't get out of my build. because I really couldn't afford to do another thing. But so yeah, damage. This is nice. This is alt gen basically in the offensive portion. So if you're the small scale PvPer kind of guy that wants to go do stuff, I mean, even if you're not, what you're going to be able to leverage with this class is good ult gen, because this class can get major heroism, with which nothing else in the game can, and it even has a passive for generating some ultimate. It's small, 0.5 per second, but all the ult gen adds up. Major heroism's nuts. That's really good. Anyway, when one of your animal companions is killed or unsummoned, you restore health. Okay, this is like the bad Sork passive, but okay. Growing Swarm. So Growing Swarm unleashed the Fetcher flies to relentlessly attack an enemy, dealing damage over 10 seconds. When ability ends, they infect up to 6 new targets. This morph was weird. I know this is something. I didn't do an offensive one, but I watched it. I watched Issa build his, and Cypher built one too. They were beating up on each other, but this is basically your spammable, and this is the wrong morph to take. I mean, maybe in an open world type like crazy PvP, this would be good. The other morph was really weird. Basically, if you recasted Swarm before it finished, it would double the damage, which was weird. And what ended up happening is basically everyone was you would just cast it twice and be like, hey, I want the double damage immediately. It's like, okay. So I don't know. Either way, we talk about the spammable DPS skill. This is kind of it. The Hajimota would be the other thing, but we'll get to that. Or I'm sorry, no. Cliff Racer was a spammable one. This is kind of like your dot, though, type thing. Think of this like the DK Claw or something. It's strong, but it was kind of like something that you kept up. Anyway, that's what that is. Good damage. There should be a Magicka and a... I don't know, actually. Like, the other one should be a stamina one because... Yeah, otherwise, I think all these have magic and stam, except the Netch, probably. I think, yeah. Okay. Blue Betty's the Netch here. Call this guy, he restores magic over seconds, gain sorcery, also removes 1 negative effect. Okay. I think the stam one gives you major brutality. If I'm not mistaken. But, yeah, and it purges the 1 ability. This is why I had it on my support type build. So, I kind of like this. It was kind of nice there. The cool thing about Netch is it gets in people's way. If someone's chasing you and you pop this little guy out, they just end up hitting it. So, it's really cheap, too. I'll take questions here. Let me try to get through the last bits here. Bird of Prey, gain major expedition, increasing movement speed. I love this skill. And you can bet your ass I was using this. This is not a pet, by the way. The rest, this is actually like a pet that comes out. Actually, that's the only one. The rest of them, you see things. This skill looks awesome. It looks like DK wings, but like they're like wings of light. They just fly out your back. It looks really cool. You instantly speed up, get major endurance, stam recovery, gain minor berserk. It's like, put this on your bar. Okay? It's got to be on there. I think the other one might have been heroism, though. Isn't this where heroism came from? If I'm not mistaken, I think this might have been it. I'm not sure. Either way, this skill is amazing. Mobility and everything. This is what I love about this class and is going to make me really want to play the Stam, is having this. Think of this like Hurricane almost for a Stam Sork, but, you know, does other stuff. So, I mean, like, kind of from the mobility aspect, like, it can give you that. So it's really cool, though. Here's the Hajj mode. This guy is a little tough to use. Summons this dude, charges ahead of you after 3 seconds, deals damage to all enemies in its wake. First one stunned for 3 seconds. I think the other morph did not stun, but it did something else. Yeah, because the Stam morph did damage too, but it didn't stun. Because I remember that. I remember Issa's build was doing. He actually had no stun in his build at all. It was weird. Yet it was dangerously effective because he did so much damage. Either way, the thing about this skill worth mentioning is it's actually hard to aim. And I like that. It required skill. But basically, if you could line up damage with the swarm going, this thing came out while Cliff Racer hit, like, you could just instantly pop somebody and destroy them. And of course, you could use the pet. The pet was very strong. Like, it did hit hard. Its ability was supposed to be used in execute. Half time you didn't need to, if you really were doing your things right. But, and then we have Cliff Racer. Call Cliff Racer, dive bomb enemy, deal magic damage. If dealing damage from greater than 15 meters, deal 15% more. Cliff Racer did a lot. Yeah, I remember fighting or watching Cypher fight with this. He was smashing with this. This was packing on some extra damage. Was adding up. Ducky, have a good night. Take care. Frozen. Frozen, welcome back. Thank you, man. Life's an epic fail. Thank you. New sub coming in. Welcome. Bring in the guns. I'm going to take questions here. I'm just going to get to the last thing, and then we can go over things, and I can kind of bounce around and field the questions. So if you had anything, happy to answer. Just save it for me 1 minute, and we'll try to get to them. Thank you guys again for the subs. This is the bear pet. Summon Loyal Grizzly to fight at your side. Grizzly swipe deals damage every 1 second until slain. When killed, instantly respawn. Cooldown of 1 minute. Once activated, you can do the Wrath. Targets under 25% health, take 100% additional damage. Again, this was really hard to actually get something like under 25% and then activate it and kill it. Because this class can kick out some mean burst. If someone got the 25%, you probably had some killer damage coming in right after to kill it. I don't want to act like it had more damage than anything in the game, but like if it has a cool combo that takes some, you know, it takes a little bit just to line up and nail. But with a little practice, it probably won't be a big problem. Its mobility will be good. Like, I look forward to seeing it in a Stam build. And I don't even mean the bear. I may use, who knows, may use the bear. May not. May, like, what I really would love to do with this class, I'd really love medium armor to be good again. I'd like to make a fast mobile build, kind of close to my Stam Sork, using the Bird of Prey and some of the other utility stuff in here, and then just lining up stuff like the Hajmota and the I think the other swarm of morphs either good or it's the Cliff Racer. But I think these two will really sack in some good damage. This one definitely does. This thing hits really hard on Stam. Like, really hard. So you put this together with some other weapon skill line stuff, and you can do some wild damage. I guess those are some. That's a shirt. Okay. But the one I'd probably have most fun doing is kind of the build I was telling you about. I love utility support builds. It's good there. It has a place in PvE. I can't imagine bringing more than one right now, just for the toughness buff and stuff. Zerg groups will love it for the big AoE, major protection. I mean, even small groups should, but like larger groups can crutch on it really hard. They can be invincible to any smaller group that has good coordination to be like, uh-oh, pop our remembrance and the major protection AoE buff, and it's like they're invincible in AoE, and then it becomes kind of more of a numbers thing. This is the thing I kind of harped on, and I just remembrance needs to get changed. But he is still major protection and AoE buff. I just don't like it. I really don't. That buff is so strong. And to put it in something like that, it just seems a little out of control. But remembrance, I would really expect it to be changed, and I'd be very disappointed if it wasn't. If they've changed most everything that has a percent that's not a major minor, it's been moved to it. Remembrance should be moved to a major minor as well, and it probably shouldn't be a major protection. Otherwise, they have to increase the cost. The one saving grace is the Warden's ultimate actually has a high cost to get that major protection, but still, you can pocket as your fail-safe oh shit button, and it's too strong of an oh shit button, I think. But that's my take on it, at least. I can try to answer some questions though that people have. Which pet abilities need to be 2 times in the bar? None of them. I don't think Blue Betty needs to. Everything else in that is not like a active pet on the field. The bear, though, that's a different story. That'll have to be. What's up, Joe Mama? PAX is good. Good times. Good times. Right now, I'm just kind of doing a video I can post, try to hit people's questions that can't tune in. So I'm kind of doing a YouTube thing. We're just going to focus on this real quick and take some questions on it if people have any. It's 40k damage without a crit on a low health dungeon boss. Yeah. The other interesting thing I think about the bear is he's going to be goddamn near invincible to AoE. So I don't think he'll die during dungeons at all. Like when you have those like one-shot AoEs, I think he'll just live through it all. I'm not mistaken. I don't know. But stam damage is still kind of crap. You have to wait and see, like, you have to wait until it's on, like, you know, PTS to really see how it pans out. And have some of the raid people put it in a proper controlled environment. Because that hasn't been done by players. I'm sure it's done by test teams, but not the players. Does Eternal Bear need to be double barred? I believe it does. If it becomes a big question on the video when I post it, I can ask. I know Issa could answer that. I'm pretty sure it had to be. Do you think the stamina setup would require a lot of weapon skills to deal DPS like Stamsork? It depends what kind of build you go. If you go two-hander, usually you're always going to have at least Crit Rush, Rally, and Executioner. It would be a matter of, do you want Wrecking Blow? And if you don't, you're not going to have a stun. But you could do like Wrecking Blow and back bar like the Hajimota and something, one of the other skills here, because they don't have to be front barred. And this class can really do a lot from range, though. It can line up a lot with a bow. So what will the Warden be to you? Are you going to turn it into your main? I mean, FENGRUSH should always be my main, but yeah, I plan to play it. And I want to do 2 builds, kind of like the open world Stam one like I talked about, and like a support tanky or Magicka guy. Those are 2 builds I like. And I generally I would probably like the second one more, even though I really like the open world stuff. What races for Magic and Stam? I'm not sure. Depends what you want to do. Like a Magicka support like I'm talking about is generally not like a high elf. Usually I pick a tanky race for that. I don't know. The Stam one, man, Orc. All the way, baby. Orc Warden. What abilities allowed? Stam morphs. In this tree, pretty much everything, I think, other than the Blue Betty. Actually, no, I think the Blue Betty had this. Yeah, no, I'm wrong. Blue Betty had a stam morph too, because it gave you a buff, brutality, which is why you didn't have to go two-hander. Like, you could get brutality, but rally's so good. Warden, any good for PvE Magic DPS? It should be okay. Yeah, I don't think it'll be the best, but it'll be good. Yeah, like sufficient. But will people bring them like a top raid guild bring them? Probably not for DPS. Reasons being it deals frost damage, and frost damage isn't amped the best as compared to like a fire staff. So, you know, the ice staff's considered like a tanky staff. So you don't look at and then their passes boost ice damage. So why would you use an ice staff to pull out the top DPS? It's not going to happen, you know. You have to Warden pet passes work with the white werewolf wolf summons. I don't think so. No. We're still too good with major prot and force, mobility, and low cost. Yeah, it is chillmatic. I'm just saying if I have to fight 20 people and they have the ability to do it, the ult is as large as a Destro ult. So think Eye of the Storm range, and you're trying to attack 20 people, and a Warden pops major protection AoE on those 20 people. I believe it only hits up to 4 targets per tick. But if it functions like smart healing defensive things do, anybody you hit and do decent damage to will instantly get the buff. Next tick, someone else gets it. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it pans out. It's really strong either way. But the rest of it's really good too. So. If the bear would stay up if you morphed into werewolf form. No, you wouldn't. Because you'd have to you couldn't have the werewolf ult on your bar while it was up. Will Necro work with this class? Yeah, it will. It'll be very effective. You can have a pet full time. The Blue Betty can be constantly up. If it dies, just resummon. It's very cheap. Do you have log packs? No, I did not. Coffee. Yeah, add-ons called destinations. Ice skill tree have any DPS that's viable? Yeah, I mean it's viable. It's just I'm saying it's not the best. But like you can go in there and run it in 99% of the game. But those like raid groups that want the best, then you know. But I mean most raid groups that are not going for like the best score, you'll be fine. You can go in there and do whatever. So have a good spammable DPS ability for Stam, or is a Dizzying Swing going to have to be used? No, it does have good Stam stuff that you can weave in. The pet ones that I went over at the end. Black Hill, take care. Have a good one. Healing Ward, Harness, Warden, Rapid Regen, the class equal hot, invincible. It's not invincible with all the hots. No, it's just no, not at all. Like hots are good, but they're not that good. Even if you layer a ton of hots, they're not going to get through huge chunks of burst. One is no Tyro. Size, have a good one. My pleasure. It will be good for PV, Magic, and DPS. Yeah, okay. Does Warden feel OP? It didn't scream that it feels OP to me, no. It'll be cool to add in groups, for sure. It'll have a good, comfortable place being added in any group. And it will help them. Does skill tree have any DPS that's viable? Not really. It's mostly a tank tree. It's like the damage in there isn't super high, Virus. If you spec'd into it, you could probably get it to be pretty nice, but it's not like spammable spike damage at all. Race would you pick for a Warden? I'm gonna pick Orc for Stam, and the other one I don't know. Thoughts on Bloodspawn Tavis Dragon Vamp trade guard support build called Garden. Yeah, I ran the exact build. Chill, I can confirm it works. The only thing Oh yeah, that's the other thing. One of these skills gives minor evasion. I forget which one that was. Might have been Bird of Prey, actually. Instead of Berserk, it might have given... I think Bird of Prey might have given minor evasion, which stacks with major evasion, which Shuffle has. So you could get back up to 20%. That's how I used it with Tavas. But Fasals looks really cool on it, too, with the Major Defile as a sick combo. But yeah, we'll trademark the Garden build. It's been claimed. Necropotence and Hunt viability. Hunt's not that great, but Necropotence will definitely be great on this class. Go through the passives, please. I did, and I'm going to post a video. If you missed the beginning, I will post this, and you can check it out on my YouTube. The link is below. Is there a stam morph for the bear? Yes. Yes, there is. Heard the bear was pretty buggy. Not that I know of. Does Barrel count as a pet? Yeah. Imagine if... link the screenshots. We won't tell. What do you mean? These are on the Reddit. Do you think dual-wield Stam Warden will be good? Yeah. I mean, it can be. That's how Issa played it. He actually played it with dual wield. Played it with no stun dual wield. Put out huge amounts of damage. Warden is a tanky healer. It can be a lot different things. It can fill all roles. One tree is for healing, one's for tanking, one's for damage. And you can mix those up to do stuff. It's not much different than any class's design right now. I'm not gonna go through the passes again, no. I'm just gonna post it. I mean, by the time I get through the passes, someone else may join and want me to go through them again. It's just I can't go through the passes all stream. I'm just gonna post the video. If you guys missed part of it, you can check it out. So the bear ulti stay up the whole time until the bear's killed, and the one morph resummons it once, so you can have a lot of uptime on that bear. What's up, D Reaver? How viable is a pair for PvP? That's hard to say. Yet to be determined. You can't really test it in a small 1v1 environment. We'll see how the bear functions in open world. For the kind of stam build I want to do that wants to be quick and move around, I don't know if the bear is going to be good for that. I may just not use the bear. We'll see. If you're in the middle of a fight, though, it'll probably be pretty good. Like you're in a small group fighting another group that's remotely your size that, you know, won't trash the thing. Then, because if you have a pet and you're fighting outnumbered and it dies immediately, it's kind of a crap ult, I would say. But I think the bear's pretty tough. Can you use other ultis with the bear's active? No, I don't think so. I think it's just you have to have the bear on. Okay. Does anyone else have any other questions? I mean, if not, I can try to answer them on the video. I'll put up a link for it, but hopefully that's helpful to people. Give them a general idea of the class. What's coming with that. It'll definitely have a good place in Cyrodiil being in groups, though. I don't think it'll be crazy overpowered. Some things may need to be adjusted, but I would expect that to happen more so when PTS comes. Do you think the go-to ult for Stam Warden will be Dawnbreaker? It depends on the playstyle build. Like I just said, like if I'm in Battlegrounds, I may have real good use out of that bear. It may be very hard in a 4v4v4 to have that bear killed. If I'm out in Cyrodiil and I'm in a 3-man group and I run into 26 people, the bear may be a bad option at that time. Does that make sense? What about
I'm the god
changes?
of jits and wine.
So when are you gonna roll a real PvP character like a Nordblaze? Thank you for the $1 donate.
You son of a bitch.
These are not leaks. We're allowed to talk about this stuff, so this is okay. Any tips on getting my DPS up in PvE with Stamsork? I do have PvE stuff on Stamsork rotations, Chico, you can check out. Okay, before I start answering other off-topic stuff, thank you for the taking the time to check this out then, this video, if you come by and check it out. That's all for now on the Warden. We'll see what else comes along when the PTS happens. I'm sure we'll have more changes then. Nothing is completely final that you see here. So things are subject to change, of course. And there's some morphs that were not included here, other effects they can get, which I missed as I was going through a bit. So more to come.